It's hard to believe it's been 35 years since Roots, the story of Kunta Kinteh, first premiered in a television miniseries. Since that time, there have been countless tributes and other productions marking this important part of our history, including a new documentary on the descendants of Kunta Kinteh. We caught up with one of the producers to talk about the new film and where people in Atlanta can see it.
Every African-American descended from a mighty people in a great land. A land that endured a horror beyond comprehension.
Because we have a generational gap, younger people 20 and under, they don't even know that Kunta Kinteh was a real person. They think that this was a movie that is fictional, and it's not. So part of what the whole point of doing the documentary is to bridge the generational gap.
Among millions enslaved, one man's story has become legend.
We want the whole world to know that the family of Kunta Kinteh are still living in the Gambia, and we didn't want this story to die.
These are the relatives of Kunta Kinteh, who was a real man who walked this earth and was captured into slavery and brought here. So we had an opportunity, and this is what you'll see in the trailer, of going to his homestead and talking to his relatives and actually standing in the cave. It looks like a cave. It's a prison, but it looks like a cave. Standing there where he stood, where so many slaves or enslaved people stood, and just as you stand there, the spirit of that moment, most of us cried as we stood there trying to take footage. That is what Elvin is trying to convey. Elvin is a composer. He's worked with Tyler Perry Studios for almost 20 years now. The plays, the sitcoms, many of the films. So he's an award-winning composer, and this is his directorial debut, and we're very excited about it. I'm the producer on the project, so part of what I did was just secure our venues when we were in Africa.
Stolen from his homeland.
And he was overpowered, and they kidnapped him and transported him to James Island.
Tortured for his defiance.
And I walked into the little room where they said that they kept the strongest Africans to break them. All of my nightmares started in this one little space.
A story passed down through generations.
With Kunte Kimteh Island, Coming Home Without Shackles, it's the story of the family that the president was encouraged by an artist here, along with Jermaine Jackson, were visiting the Gambia. And when they went to this place, they said this cannot possibly be called James Island after a man who enslaved so many of your sons, stole them, beat them, killed them, and shipped them away. You can't possibly name it this. This is Kunta Kinteh Island.
I have the singular honor and privilege to declare that James Island is renamed Kunta Kinteh Island.
The island is named after one of Africa's greatest songs.
A person that doesn't know their heritage, they're lost. And we need to have more than just Black History Month.
We're not slaves. We were enslaved.
Kunta Kinteh Island. This was ours. This was ours.
And that was Ben Fareem, if you didn't recognize him. The Heritage Tour, featuring the documentary Kunta Kinteh Island, Coming Home Without Shackles, also includes an educational symposium.